Is that a barometer in your geranium? Yes, it is. 29.9 inches, and the barometric pressure is falling. And the temperature is rising. Yes, I may or may not have stored some leftovers outside on the grill last night as the refrigerator is full. Last evening, what a beautiful sunset. It was cold, it was 35 degrees. Now it's 50. And guess what? Everything's all wet. The street is wet, the driveway is wet, it's damp because it was so cool last evening with a dew point in the lower 30s. And then this morning, the temperature and dew point jumped up into the 40s. So you have a condensation situation. The ground is almost sweating, as you would say, which is no problem when you're at 50 degrees, but you move to northern New England. Let's check the temperature profile on Mount Washington, where the wind is from the southwest at 50 miles per hour. The summit is 23. The base is, what's that, lower 20s? I can't remember exactly, but I see between 2,000 and 4,000 feet, it's above freezing. So what we have now is a wall of moisture coming into New England. Remember all that advertising for a Friday, Saturday storm? Well, it's not a big storm today, but it is enough that there's some freezing rain occurring because of that melting layer at 3,000 feet. You get down to the ground in Concord and Freiburg and areas like that, Conway, it's in the 20s and low 30s with some light, probably drizzle, maybe some snowflakes. And for the first time, yesterday I said first time since November 11th, it's not snowing. And for the first time since the November 10th, it is raining in the mountains of parts of New England today. It's a quick moving front. First, the warm air comes in today, probably going above freezing all the way to the tops of the mountains briefly this morning. And then it cools right back down tonight, and rain may end as a little bit of snow. I was hopeful for a J cloud tonight, but it looks more like just kind of some snow showers in northern New England. Much cooler air coming in tomorrow. Looks gorgeous. Saturday. Remember about a week ago we were all talking about this big Saturday storm? Well, there is one. Usually when the models say there's going to be a big storm from 10 days out, something does happen. And boy, is something happening. What was the front that's coming through here tomorrow, off the mid-Atlantic states, there's about a 1,002 millibar low, and even the Ocean Prediction Center now says it's going to deepen to 960 by tomorrow. So that's about a 42 millibar drop. This is more conservative than the euro. Anyhow, that is a hurricane force low off of Newfoundland, where there's a great Twitter follow. You should follow him, Lee Tremblett, Bonavista, Newfoundland, Labrador. He says 120 kilometers per hour. I think that's what he meant in his wind speed the other day with this storm. And the forecast with this next one is 160 kilometers per hour, which is close to 100 miles per hour. You're going to convert. We're the only people in the nation stubborn enough not to use the very logical metric system. And when I talk about millibars, that's also the metric system. That barometer we just saw in my house, 29.9 inches of mercury. It would be good if we were all standard. And I have a request from David on my YouTube feed, says, can you put timestamps on the maps? Well, it's really hard. I mean, they're there, but they're in Greenwich Mean Time, so we have a 5-hour difference. So midnight in Greenwich, England is still 7 p.m. here. So we have to look at those maps and subtract 5 hours from those to get the time. And the time is there in the upper left, but I often try and clip them so you won't be able to see those times in the upper left, figuring you're not going to really understand them anyway. And when I do show these maps of low pressure systems going by, I try to say the exact day it's happening. I know I can't do it to the hour. This is more of a big picture weather forecast system here. And the big picture, we have winter storm warnings now in New Mexico. Remember a few days ago it was supposed to snow really hard in Texas? And now it's moved to New Mexico. So that's another blown forecast. The residents in North Texas probably thought they were going to get a foot of snow from a few days ago. Now it's not even doing anything. While we look at these advisories, check out Hawaii. It's all related, you know, the whole northern hemisphere. So we got to look everywhere. Our weather does come from Hawaii eventually, sometimes. And what does it take to get a high surf advisory in Hawaii? 20 to 30 foot breakers coming onto the shore on the north-facing beaches in Hawaii. Around here, we get a high surf advisory for 10 foot or even smaller. So it's all relative, right? So there's just this a parade of storms in the Pacific Ocean headed into the United States. But the weather pendulum is shifting colder and snowier west now. So those systems are going to come into the west. And it looks like they're going to go down toward the Gulf of Mexico and then right up to our north. So even though we're going to have these brief cool downs like tomorrow, it looks like it's going to be a wet one here on Sunday. And then it cools down again on Monday, maybe some rain ending in snow in the mountains again. And it's a cold day Tuesday. And then it warms up again. And it's rain all the way to the Canadian border and wind. What a front coming in Wednesday. And that'll bring in much colder air for Thursday. But the cold isn't going to hold when the high pressure system goes off to your south. Now, there is going to be an interesting competition next weekend with high to the north and a high to the south. And where that boundary is going to set up, it's impossible to say. So here we are on our Friday, Saturday after Thanksgiving. What a beautiful day yesterday. Congratulations to all the football teams yesterday. It looks like Hull took Hingham, so going to the championships at Gillette. Well done. And we had the tinfoil question on Twitter. To put a foil tent on your turkey or not. The mixed reviews. A third yes, a third no, a third, I don't know. At the start, at the end. Anyhow, I put the foil on at the end, and the turkey came out just great. Thanks for asking. I'll leave you with a couple of highlights from yesterday. Oh, yeah, and somebody went hiking for some turns at Crotched Mountain. Thanks, Ross and Mary, for that. Hope you enjoy. Try and nail down the details a little better as they come in with that next serious event is probably Sunday and again Wednesday. Thanksgiving 2022 sunset. Even have a little bit of a sundog. And even a little boating happening as the sun goes down here on Bass River. Who's that? Nice day.